Hello, fellow newbies, fellow traders. I shouldn't just say newbies. Some people really don't know how to do that much research around Forex, and I'm going to show you how I do my own. Um, I hope you're having a great day. Simply put, I just make a folder up here, and I call it retail market research. People waste a lot of time with market research, but all you need to do is you need to go down here and you need to click on Daily FX Calendar. That's the very first one that you want to save under your new folder called Retail Market Research. And all it does is it pulls up the Forex Economic Calendar, which you want to know what particular significant news is coming out that will affect any of your trades or any of the flows that I send you, because it can. Okay, if there's a significant piece of news, you can see that it's based on low, medium, and if I scroll down here a bit, it's you'll see a couple of high ones later on today around 6:45 our time. Governor Carney from England is coming out, so I want to know, especially if I'm in the pound, which I am, Great Britain pound trade. If we want to basically make it in our own time, we just go over to here and we flip over and we go down until we find Shanghai, Singapore, and we click on that, and the calendar will automatically update into Malaysia, Singapore time, so that you can see Monday, Tuesday, all the way down. And of course, that's basically, tells you all the main ones you want to know are sometimes medium, but mostly just the high uh, impact news releases, when they are, what time they come out at, and if you have any positions that you need to protect or take off before these particular releases come about, because they're volatile and they cause the markets to whip around in every which direction. And it usually is just a big stop hunt for the market makers. And so you can see anytime you see, like later on this week, we have the Australian employment, and if you're in an Australian US dollar trade, well, and you want to be very aware of that. And also Chinese consumer price index, because it affects the Australian dollar, because it's one of the major trading partners. And you'll learn to identify, how news affects various currencies. We have the New Zealand Reserve Bank of New Zealand interest rate on Thursday. These are the 3 or 4 major releases of the week. Sometimes there's not much more on the week, and there's really not, other than those 3 or 4 events. And if you're a news trader, that's basically it. So what is the site? It's Daily FX. You can see it here, dailyfx.com, and it's your economic calendar. You also see under Daily FX that they have real-time news, and if we go down from under Forex Market News, you can go to real-time news, and they'll print out what's going on. As you can see here, and, as the news is released, they'll relay it to you. You can see recently we had a release of UK manufacturing and everything, which recently came out. You can see it was all released here. It's usually about a minute or two late, so I wouldn't try to trade it off these guys, even though it's supposed to be real-time news. The move was well underway by the time you'll see the guys actually printed out here. However, you can see market news. There's technical analysis. It'll show you some charts. The only other one you may want to, I also keep the real-time news, and I keep sentiment here under my retail market research. Sentiment is all it really does. If we go to the sentiment charts here, is that you can see it tells us what the retailers are doing and some of the larger brokerages. This basically comes from FXCM, so you can still see that retail guys have been long the euro ever since it's been falling, and that's what they have a tendency to do. They are usually on the opposite side of the way price moves, and when you see extremes like it is kind of now, price will usually continue higher. So it doesn't mean that, the series of small little tiny moves. It just means over a period of time. This is measured in weeks or months, okay? So it's hard to really determine, other than it gives you perhaps a general idea of what way the market's moving. The other sites that I use, the other good one that you may want to get used to is you can go to FX Street, which is right over here. And what you can find over at FX Street is, this is just advanced charts, but you can go to the main one, the home page, and it has everything underneath here. It has technical tools, economic calendar, webinars. You don't really have to do too much. You just sort of skirt the site and figure out, because there's a lot of traders who post a lot of things, and this is just sort of one that I keep on here. You can use comparisons like I showed you in our lessons, where you can put different currencies to compare how they cross over or whatever, and you can use them to time, longer term trades. You see the 30 minutes, you can change it to an hour. But just go over here and flip around and don't really listen to too many of the so-called experts. You need to learn to do your own research, and I'll also help you with that for the time being. But anyway, that's the main ones that I use on my site. You don't have to really download anything more. I'll give you a couple more down the road, but that's how I do my research every day. I find out what the news is. I find out which particular pairs I'm going to trade. I see what's going to affect the flows, because the news does affect the flows that I send you every day. And the rest is I'm going to start putting the trading systems on for you. So that's it for today, fellow traders, and have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll be back with some more information.